I'm well. This
So
is
to
this is a
interact with the people,
and if
sorry, just to ask, to interact with people that, to interact with Nabantu who are asking questions, do I press on chat?
no,
I
it'll
see
come
there's
up
an
on the
icon.
comment section.
Okay, all right.
It'll come up on the comment section. The chat part is just for if you want to speak to me or ask me something on the side.
Okay, all right.
All right, you can just give it a
Okay.
few seconds. Um, let's just okay. I see people are coming in already. Again, thank you once again for giving us your time. And the interesting thing about this conversation today is that, I mean, showing up. How about where's the guest now? There, we lost the guest. I don't even know what happened. But can I just check that you guys can hear me? If you can come to comment section and say what's up, it might be helpful. Um, we're having a conversation about mental health this morning. I'm just waiting for the guest to come back so that he can give us some talks. I'm not going to be beautiful. Thank you, Trauma Queen. Thank you. Thank you. I'm totally not going to be using the video today, guys, because we just like freaking put the word out there and then your body computer like completely goes into that zone. So I woke up today and I was mentally tired and I'm just like, oh no, I don't want to like get up and mission and get all ready and just to live stream for these strangers on the internet. But then, um I think that's what the thing about showing up is. I'm just waiting for the guest to come back because he's gonna run the whole thing. Molweni Tifu, good morning, good morning. Sometimes when you have to show up, it doesn't have to be 100% all the time, guys. And I'm having one of those moments today where I'm going to show up 30%. Um, I'm just feeling exhausted, and you guys work, work me. So this is just me explaining to you why I'm not going to have my video on because my mental health this morning is at 3 minutes past 10. It's not on o'clock. So I'm so happy that we're going to be having this conversation. As per usual, please don't be shy in the comment section. Um, I'm going to be posting your comments. Loyiso, you'll also see their questions on screen. I know not everybody's familiar with technology the older they get. um, but yes, someone Coco Tooting saying they also were feeling like that yesterday. Thank you for showing up. Thank you so much. It was not easy. I'm exhausted, guys. So, Budlois, I'm gonna hand over to you then. Budloiso, are you there? Can you hear us? Way. Budloiso is getting his aesthetic right. I can hear him. I think you can hear him. I'm not quite sure why he can't hear me. But I was literally just going to hand over to him. Hi, Jennifer. We want to welcome the white people who have joined the Moya community after much provocation on Twitter. You are most welcome here in the world of healing. Loyiso, okay. Let me tell him that his sound is not on. Uh, all right. Maybe he can read that. You see these white people things, guys. Now we are stuck here, you know. Tifu, you would love to join the live. You absolutely may. Let's just give our guest the first grace to like unpack from his point of view, and then we'll have questions, Q&A, and then I'll add you guys onto the screen, onto the stage. I know that we love it down here. We are those children in class that have got something to say, that are taking up space. So yes, we will allow you to
Can you
join
stop
on as video
uh,
later. But Loyiso, can you hear
I
us?
understand.
Yes, he
So
can't hear
I'm
me
waiting for you to
also.
go ahead.
Oh, let me speak to
So
him
I
in
understand
comments. Let me
we're
make a
talking
Let me
about
drop a comment here. But
so in
even
the
me,
meantime, while we wait for the host, I'm not sure if she'll come through. I'll just continue to speak because from what I understand, you can hear me.
yes.
Anyway, the discussion today is about mental illness um, and how in indigenous culture we actually can heal mental illness. What we have currently is that the Western medicine is actually using pills to actually to assist people in terms of mental illness. But as in twin, we have a way also of healing mental illness. Now, there have been people that have been talking about decolonizing psychology, decolonizing mental illness, etc., etc. This shows that there is a recognition, even by professionals, mental health professionals, that there is a misnomer in terms of how mental illness is treated, especially for Abantu, because Abantu have their own culture, which is different to that of the Westerner. Now, those efforts seek to ensure that Isintu is also included in it is also included in terms of ensuring that let me see, we have comments. Oh, I understand I'm soft. Okay, let's see. Can people hear me now? I'm hoping that I'm audible now. Am I now audible for people to hear me? All right, I've increased the volume. I'm hoping people can hear me now. Okay. Um, the discussion that I was talking about was more on mental illness. Now, there's been people that have been vocal about decolonizing psychology and ensuring that is seen to as a culture is also included as part of the analysis that is made when you're analyzing a normal person or analyzing someone. Those efforts are actually quite good because they show that Abantu now are also starting to understand that there is also a them that need to be considered, and the cultures are different, so their culture needs to be considered as well. Let me read the comments a bit. All right, so you can hear me clearly. Good. I can hardly see the comments as well. But anyway, so what then happens is that Isintu is then included in as part of the Western way of curing, of managing mental health rather than reversing it. And Umtuga then lives on pills for a very long time or for the rest of their lives because they need to be able to dim down whatever is happening to the person. But this approach to me, forward looking as it is, also lacks something. It lacks the understanding that abantu also have their own way of managing mental health. So mental health is not only managed in one way through the Western culture. There are different ways to manage mental health. And abantu have their own way of managing mental health. Now, as in twin, when you manage mental health, you're looking at the spiritual origin of disease, which is actually something that the Western culture doesn't. So that's why they rely on pills. So you are looking at the spiritual origin of disease, and also you need um, to be able to check if the person um, what the person is actually feeling, and understand that whatever the person is feeling is not something that is not there, it's something that is there, except that other people cannot see it. Now, in African culture, what we do is when we look at the spiritual origin, we understand that each person is has different levels of has different levels of vibration, if I can put it like that. Yes, there's different levels of vibration. Now, I'm not saying something that other people are not saying. There's a lot of people that actually say the same thing. If you check also, there's people that talk about different auric levels as well. They'll tell you that your aura has different levels. That talks to the different vibrations within the same person. So each person has different vibrations. So as you are here, there is also for people to better understand this, they would need to listen to the podcast that we had with Onseli before, which explains more about vibration. So I'm taking that people already have a particular level of knowledge with regards to what vibration is, all that. So I'll touch very briefly on it. Now, as we discussed earlier, we said each person is born at different frequencies. I used even a rod, a piece of string, that if you spin it around, eventually disappears because it moves away from your line of sight, or from your, not your line of sight, but from your range of sight. So your energy can only see up to a particular level. You cannot see beyond a particular level. So then there are different frequencies. So that now, as a person, you have different levels of frequency. You appear in different levels. The body that you use when you are in dreams is the body of your higher self. So there's different levels of higher self, and each higher self has its own consciousness, and that consciousness is um, will be different at different levels. Now, besides that, there's also other beings around us. Now, if you are born at different frequencies, then you understand that there's other spaces that you don't see. In those spaces that you don't see, there's also other beings that are sitting there. Now, this is the basis for treatment of mental health in Esintwini, in our culture. In that we understand that each person, there's more than one area. Other people will tell you about chakras. They'll tell you there's different chakras. Now, when you talk about chakras, you're talking different vibrations of the same body. It's the same thing. When you talk about, for instance, we spoke about auric levels, we spoke about chakras. Some people, esintwini, for instance, there's different layers zabantu zamathongo zabantu abangasekho. Khona idlozi, and then at a higher level there's isithunywa, khona ithongo, etc., etc. All those speak to the same thing. They speak to different layers of vibration within the same person. Now, what you need to understand is that you are visible in all these different layers, though you don't see yourself, but you are visible to those beings that are at that level of vibration. So that is the summary of it. I explained it better in the book, my book, The Bible Holy Scripture. So once you understood that you are at different levels of vibration, then what you then need to understand is that each level of vibration interacts with different beings. So those beings then will influence your brain. So your brain in itself, your mind, what you are thinking, is actually your higher self having a conversation with other higher selves. That is why they'll say when you think of something, you are manifesting it. So if your brain is attached to your brain has its own body, and it's attached to this body. The body is at a higher level. That's the body you use when you in dreams. Because even in dreams you have a body. So that's the body that you use in dreams. Now, the reason you'd have a body, because people seem to think that material is only at this level. The reason you have a body is that what you see is actually in reference to what you to who you are, to the level of energy that you have. For instance, the lowest energy level that you see as solid. So you see something as solid because it has the lowest energy in this particular vibration. The next thing that you see is liquid, which is a higher vibration than the solid. And then there's gas, which is also a higher vibration than the liquid and the solid. So all these are just relative uh, uh, um, views that you have as a person based on your own vibration. So the lowest is solid, and you see this even in a block of ice. When you melt it, it starts off as solid. You melt it, it becomes water, and then you heat it again, give it more thermal energy, it becomes gas. So even at any other frequency, when you get to that frequency, you will see solid, liquid and gas, because the lowest energy in that particular vibration will be solid, and then there will be liquid, and then there will be gas, even in that at that particular, at all those levels. That's how you see. You might see more, because I would not be able to then say, but solid, liquid and gas you'll be able to see, because that's a relative. So you have a body at each and every frequency. This frequency, this is the body that you use. The next frequency, you have another body. The next frequency, you have another body. All right. Let me see. Okay, I was just checking even my messages. Now, here's what then happens is that at the different levels of vibration, what would happen then is that if you lower your energy, the area where you interact, where your higher self interacts, has lower energy as well. Now you are interacting with other beings because of the level of energy. So if you vibrate at a particular level, you then interact with beings that interacting at your level, that are at the level of vibration that you are at. So your higher self is at a particular vibration, and at that vibration, it is interacting with other beings of that particular level. So when you lower your energy, you then interact with beings of much lower energy. Now, beings of much lower energy have a destructive mentality. If they have a mentality that is very destructive, they have thoughts that are fear-based. So these are the beings that then will cause you to think differently, will cause you and they will drain your energy. That's why you become so tired, because these beings, as they are interacting with you, because if you remember, energy flows from higher to lower. So because you are a higher energy being, so they drain you. They are then siphoning your energy because they interact with you. You've allowed them to interact with you. So that is how you get to have those voices in your head. Now, those voices in your head, these are the beings that are talking in your mind. Now, they can capture your mind. They can be able to even capture your mind such that um, they are the ones that influence how you think. Because right now, your influence is from the beings that are around you, your higher selves, your ancestors, etc., depending on the level of vibration that you are at. So what you then do to be able to move away from that is change your vibration. Now, if you have a vibration, because where you are present is where you are vibrating. This is why they say you are in charge of your own destiny, because even yourself, if you vibrate at a particular level, you attract certain vibrations. Now, how this attraction thing works, because people will tell you about manifestation, what you think you are actually able to manifest. That is also true. But if you understand that your mind is actually your higher self, so what you think is actually what you are doing with your mind. You are instructing your mind to do something. So if you think about jumping up and down, it means your mind is jumping up and down at that point. So your mind is not limited, and your body should not be limited as well. But because of the energy or that you have these limitations. But because your higher self has more energy, then it has less limitations, able to move around, able to do anything that you want it to do. So what then happens is that if you think something, then you are moving your mind towards that place. If you are thinking about eating pizza, for instance, let me give an example. You are moving your mind towards uh, uh, um, that place which you see in your mind, which is where you are eating the pizza. Now, because your mind, your higher self and your lower self are connected, then your higher self seeks to draw your lower self to where it's at, and your lower self seeks to draw your higher self to where it's at. So if your higher self is has higher and is higher energy and is able to connect better with your lower self, then your higher self then draws, because it's like if you have a leg, maybe a prosthetic leg, you as you move along, you drag that foot with you, but it comes behind you, because it does not have the energy to be able to move with you. The same thing with your body. Your body does not have the energy to move with the higher self, so the higher self then drags. So everything that you think of, you're actually engaging yourself in that with your higher self, and then then you then drag the rest of your body towards that area. Hence, you manifest what you are thinking. So that's how manifestation works. It's just something very simple. So if you start lowering your energy, then you get to a place where there is lower energy beings, and they influence how you think. They influence you with murderous thoughts. They influence you with those thoughts that they have, and as a result, those thoughts then come to you. And then when those thoughts come to you, then tend to act those thoughts, because this is the influence that your body is getting. Your body, remember that your body is always being influenced. The only time when your body is acting autonomously is when you are it's fight or flight. It is when somebody pricks you, that what we call reflex action. Then your body is acting on its own. It's acting, you call it reflex action, but it's a quick reaction because the body is acting on its own. It does not need to get instructions from the higher self. So that is when that's why your mind normally does not remember what happened during fight or flight, because your higher self was not acting. It was just the body acting autonomously. But in everyday living, your higher self is acting with you. Is assisting you. So your higher self then drags you towards that particular area where you are at. So what if you change your thought pattern, then then your higher self will seek to draw your body towards where your thought pattern is, towards where your higher self is. Hence, that's what happens. No, a person that is mentally ill, or that hears voices, or okay, let's start with the hearing of voices first. Remember that each and every level that you have is able to come through to you. They come through to you as moods. Sometimes when you yawn, for instance, you'll have a yawn. When you yawn, it's a mood changing. It's like one being changing. You are changing from one being to another. So you notice the mood that you have when you yawn. It's a change of frequency. Um, so a person who's hearing voices, it means the entities that he's surrounding is able to listen to them. He's able to hear them. He's able to talk to them correctly. They're able to talk to him. So as a result, then he wants to. He feels like if you are a Christian, or if you are a religious person, you think God is talking to you. You think a higher being, but only to find that it's just a being vibrating at a particular level that is doing the talking or influencing you. So that person will then hear those voices, and it will tell you, I'm hearing voices. You will not hear, the practitioner will not hear those voices, because it's not trained to listen to voices, to go to a space of higher vibration. Only abantu besintu, abathwasileyo, or who have gone through initiation, are able to do that. So that is how then abantu besintu are able to, because they're able to listen to what the voice is, where the voice is coming from. Now we have inyanga, amagqirha, imboni. Those are the people that can cross the border and see at the other vibration, to say what is the other what is happening outside of what we can see. Then they tell you that, okay, there is something within you that is influencing your thoughts. So what we then need to do is remove that thing. So that is how mental illness is healed in our culture. Uh, um, there is something that you are hearing voice. So there is a being that is talking to you, that is influencing your thoughts. So you need to remove that being, and then you need to raise your vibration. You need to move away from that space mentally. Um, but if like there are ways that people are very skillful in what they do. There are ways where people can keep you in a particular uh, uh, um, a thought trend. They keep you in that particular thought trend until they achieve what they want to achieve. So it's so, or they attach a being to you. They use your DNA to say this being must be able to track you wherever you are at. It must be there, and that being is draining your energy, and because it's close to you, it will be influencing your thoughts. So to be able to heal mental illness, to be able to to remove those voices, it's not a question of removing them. It's being able to interact with them or moving away from them, because those voices are where they're supposed to be. You are the one that is where you are not supposed to be. So what you then do is you increase your vibration. Now, how do you increase your vibration? There's various ways to increase your vibration. Amakecha are able to do that with herbs. They can take particular herbs. They know which herbs work with which to remove which entity. So the very first part when you are fighting mental illness is to remove whatever is affecting you, and then you then need to move away from the space mentally that you are at. Once that whatever has been removed, then you'll be able to move from that space, and then they wash you. That's where they will wash you at the river, where that by lashes luane. That's what they call it. Abanye, they are able to actually just pray and remove it in front of you, and you can see whatever was used to do that. There's various ways. I've seen people bebamba izinto and removing them from the body. Some people will remove keys from people's bodies. Um, that is how they're able to. So once they're able to remove that, then your mind then is able to be clear. But besides that, you must remember that for that to happen, something did happen before. You, how then did you get to that particular space? You go to that particular space for what? Either somebody did something to you, or unknowingly you did something, or you just dragged yourself towards that. So you need to remove. In most cases, it's people that, when it's severe, in most cases, it's people that do that. Also, when you sleep with a person, when you have intercourse with with another person, whatever that person has that is affecting them, because you are sharing now a spiritual space, um, that will be then linked, that then will come to you as well. You find that if that person had a negative energy, that energy is transferred to you. That's why then it's important to not just be sleeping around, because all that negative energy is being attracted of the people that you are sleeping with comes to you. That's how you get these things. Some people send it to you. Some people feed you things. There's various ways to ensure that to lower your vibration, to ensure that these beings come closer to you. Now, to increase your vibration, there's various ways, like I said. One way that is the cheapest way, the best way, if you need to quickly get out of it, is sea salt. If you take sea salt and you put it in water, that is an electrolyte. It's an energy solution. That is energy. So when you have that energy, you are able to use that energy to wash yourself. When you wash yourself, you raise your energy level of your body. And as such, whatever is at lower energy is not able to come closer to you, because now you are at a higher level of energy, just like you are on heat. So you are, sorry, not only you are warmer, you are hotter. And heat, we're talking about dogs now. So you are, so it raises your energy, and as such, whatever attaches to you is not. Try that if you have depression, if you have this sea salt, have a, you can take a teaspoon of sea salt and put it in a cup, and then you just smear, you rub yourself, or you just wet yourself with it before you sleep, and see the change. Even in the morning, you'll feel a great change. But that's not enough. Sea salt is just a one part of it. What you then need to do is remove whatever it is that is affecting you. That is when you go to the river, or you go to get somebody to drag it away from you, whatever is that. And then from that, you have to then protect your environment. Now, there's something that people are not doing, which is creates all these negative energies in people. When you get to a particular space, that space that you're at has different levels of vibration. So what you then need to do is to clear your space and clean your space and ensure that your space is clean, is always clean. What they call uqinisa, or to strengthen your home, uqinisa ikhaya, or ubethela. That stops any negative energy from coming into your space, because any negative energy can affect can come through to you via your home. Even if you are wherever you are, if your home is in Eastern Cape, for instance, and you're in Joburg, you will get affected by something that is at your home, because that is where your source is. That is where your energy drags, your connection goes through. So part of, so sea salt is one of the things that you use. So you have then to strengthen your home, and make sure your home is strengthened. And then once you have done that, you then you are now at a particular space where you are able to move away from the lower vibration that people that you are subjecting yourself into. So that is in a nutshell what they would do. But there's various things, because various entities have various ways of affecting you. You will not use the same method to remove the same entity that is attached to you. Some entities will be attached to you personally as a person in your space, in your body, and then whenever you move around, it moves around with you. Some of these entities will be attached to your home. So whenever you get home, you suddenly get tired, or whenever you get home, you suddenly start fighting with your partner. It's just sour at home. It's not nice. There's something that is at your home. Now, when that thing draws your energy, that's another thing that people have to understand about mental illness. They say mental illness is hereditary, but that is not correct. When a child is born, is pure, it is clean. But what happens is that if you have an entity that is sitting at your home, a negative entity that is drawing, say your parents, it's at your home and it's affecting your parents. It will affect your parents, and then your parents pass on. When your parent passes on, what that entity does is look for the next person who has a similar frequency to your parent, and that would be you. So it will come to you, and then it will start affecting you. When you start having mental illness, they will say you are mentally ill. When in actual fact, it is not mental illness. It is not hereditary. It is just that uh, just hold on. It is it is just that whatever it is that was there keeps coming back, keeps affecting you. It has been affecting your parents, affects you. If you don't remove it, when you die, somebody else gets affected, etc., etc. The only way to remove it is to go there and remove it. Is to remove. I don't know if people can still hear me now, because my earphone is telling me that something went wrong.
We can hear you. I wonder if you can hear me. And
Yes,
I
I
was
can hear you
hoping,
loud and clear.
oh, brilliant. Oh, that's wonderful. Maybe you can also engage Anthony, who's just joined. He's coming to ask questions. And somebody asked here in the comment section, Commander Peace is asking, is it safe to declare racism a mental health condition?
Okay, racism, a mental health condition. Racism, I would not say it's a mental health condition. It's just a conditioning of the brain, if I can say. Because when you talk about mental health, you're talking about disturbance of your mind, not disturbing of your brain. But people do influence. You see, you must remember that every person's. Sorry, Anthony, I'll get to you. I just need to let me finish this one. Every person behaves based on the level of energy that they have. If you have lower energy, you'll behave like a being of lower energy. That is why these beings of lower energy can do what they do to you as well when you get closer. It is because your behavior is such that you 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 have lowered your energy. So everyone behaves based on the level of energy that they have. When a person, because they have certain insecurities. Now, people that are racist, it's people that have been taught, they have misinformation, they've been taught certain things, and as a result, they are reacting based on what they've been taught. I would not call them mentally ill. They just need to be re-educated. That's all. So it's not. I would not go to that level. But everybody can interpret what they want to interpret. I'm not here to interpret anything. I'm here to just give you the science behind mental illness, and then you can decide if you want to call it that. Yes, I cannot hardly see the comments, so it's very nice for you to read the comments for me.
Oh,
Anthony
okay.
wanted to
I'll
ask something, so can I
yes.
engage him? Anthony, I'm listening.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, my brother?
Well, thank you, Anthony. I hope you're good as well.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. And how you doing, sister? That's why.
Hi, Anthony. Good to see you.
Yeah, I finally got a chance to join the show. Yeah, I mean, I love your show. I love the platform, man. And I was kind of a little bit late, catching on to the brothers' conversation, but I kind of got a little bit of it, and it seemed to me like I don't know. I mean, I didn't want to get off topic or anything, but like I was when I seen the title about mental health. I looked at it and from my perspective, just the perspective I look at it from a perspective of black people as a whole, you know what I'm saying? As our mental health from not only like from slavery and from colonization, and I was drawn to. It's two books that I was drawn to. It's a book by an African American social theorist named Dr. Bobby E. Wright. He had a book called The Psychopathic Racial Personality, called Black Menticide. You know, and it was a brother from Burkina Faso. His name is Maladome Some. And he had a book called Of Water and Spirit, where he was talking about overcoming trauma. Yeah, you've heard you've checked that out before, my brother. Yeah, I had that book, man, about Dr. Maladame Some. And my thing was that we as black people, I mean, not only black people in America, black people in the diaspora of the Americas, black people on the continent, that I think that we all suffer from a kind of a mental health thing, man. It's we could look in parts of among our people, rather in the Caribbean or in Africa, we have things like skin bleaching. You know what I'm saying? Like skin bleaching. We have things like I mean, all kinds of things like the how we love to be close to whiteness. I mean, like an anti-blackness kind of thing against our own self, an internal self-hatred of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's something that I think that we need to address more, man. And I mean, like I said, I didn't want to get off topic. I mean, mess up y'all's conversation and everything. But I just think that it's something that we don't address a lot, man. The internal self-hatred and things that we have in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, from things like even like following the Abrahamic religions, this white Jesus and and white Muhammad and all of these things. The demonizing of our own African traditional belief systems. I mean, I just began a couple of years ago. I'm into the Ifa religion. That I've been studying, man. Trying to reconnect with my African heritage. And and I think it's been a great benefit to me. You know, uh, giving me a sense of worth, man. That I am somebody, man, and that I come from something that means something, and it wasn't just something that Europeans or that Arabs came and told me that what my people was doing was wrong or evil or whatever. You get what I'm trying to go to, man. And I just think that I love to hear brothers and sisters from the continent kind of like, get into that a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense, man, and I just knock off and just listen to what you guys have to say for me.
All right, thank you. Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible. Thank you for that,
Yes.
Anthony.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sister. I'll see y'all later. I'll get up in the chat and listen.
Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. I think we need to differentiate between what mental illness is and what conditioning of the mind is. You see, when you condition your mind to think in a particular manner, you'll behave in a particular manner. You see, every person when they grow up, they get their environment, and from their environment they then create a character. Um, Now, how is character created? Character is created every time you find an adversity, something that is not that is does not fit you well, or is the body is not able to interact with correctly. You then create you change your behavior, your normal behavior. You then create a particular character, and then as you grow up, you create these layers of change, of characters, of change within yourself, within your pure self, because as a baby you are pure, and then you create these layers of insecurities created by these insecurities that you have, that you are not, of situation that you're unable to deal with. And as a result, at the end, when you are all grown up, you have a particular character. That is what you are referring to. It's the conditioning that is by the environment. It's not really, I would not call it mental illness in my own understanding. Now, that is simply due to lack of knowledge. You see, if you don't have knowledge, then you behave in a particular manner, because the knowledge that you have allows shows you to, if you bleach your skin, it's because you honestly think that lighter skin is better than blacker skin. I would not condemn a person like that, because that's the information that they have, that's the understanding that they have, and they get that information from people that they trust. And I mean, if you watch your parents, how your parents view certain groups of people, and you copy that. So that is what our behavior is. Our behavior is simply just learned reactions based on what we know. So we can really unlearn that. The book that I wrote, Bantu Holy Scripture, seeks to do that exactly. Seeks to give you uh, um, information about who you are, about how your body actually works, so that you don't have to go to a religion. Um, you don't have to go to to think anybody else is better than the other person. There's a melanated person is a very high energy being, and it's very simple. Um, so it is not they do not really need. I understand that society creates that, but you don't really need to follow that. You follow that because of the level of energy and the insecurities that you have. As you raise your energy, as you raise your vibration, you tend to move that to remove that from you. I mean, I grew up in a very divided country. My mind was affected by that. But as I understood who I was, as I went on to understand my own self, I then realized that no, man, all this is just um, people trying to put me down because they understand. I made this analogy of a race car and a car like a GTI. A race car, if you put in petrol that is of low quality, it will run as in the same space as GTIs and all that. But once you change the fuel, then there's no competition. So once you raise your energy level and you give yourself the proper fuel for your body, you don't really even need to start discussing things like racism, because they just you see, at a particular level of vibration, there's certain thought trends you cannot hold on to. The more you raise your vibration, for example, you cannot hate anyone at a particular level of vibration. You just can't. It does not happen. The person does something to you, you are unable to hate, because the feeling does not stay in your brain. So those to me are just learned behavior that can be unlearned due to information. If those people were to read my book, for instance, they would change their minds very easily. They would understand that, okay, this is actually who I am, and I'm a much better being than that. I mean, if you have beings that are able to conquer the entire world, because our frame of reference is from a Western culture. A person that conquers the world is seen as a great person. But in actual fact, it shows how low their vibration is. It shows just how immature they are, because they are not content with themselves. They are not content with what they have. They have to go and take other people's things to show that they to prove to somebody else that they are better. When in actual fact, if they know, then they know. Why would they want to prove? So yes, thank you, Anthony, for that. Now, getting back now to the issue of mental health. There's also another. I spoke about these beings of lower energy that would drag you down, attached to you, because you yourself have lowered your vibration to a particular point, and then allowing them to attach. And once they attach, then they try to stay with you as much as possible and change your mind. But remember also that there's not only lower energy beings, there's also higher energy beings. All those higher energy beings also seek an audience with you. If in your home, for instance, somebody had a calling and was able to see higher beings and was able to converse, even if it's your grandfather or your great grandfather, if there was somebody there, then it means that that level of energy is in there. It needs to be explored. It means that you yourself are receiving copious amounts of energy, but you are not utilizing. The energy is not flowing. There's a lot of energy coming into you because what you gained from, because you are the sum of your parents, of your father mostly. So what your father could do, you can also do. You see, part of what your mother can do, you can also do. So, but you need to be able to activate that. Now, what then happens is that a whole lot of energy comes into you, and as this energy is coming into you, you are not letting it out. So it builds up in you. It builds up and builds up and builds up. To utilize it, you need to do whatever the energy allows you to do. If, for instance, you need to supposed to pray with the energy, then the energy that comes in, then when you pray, the energy comes. You release the energy. You allow it to flow, and more energy comes in. Now, if you don't allow the energy to flow and you don't practice what you are able to, the energy then is stagnant, and it becomes stagnant. Now, any energy that is stagnant is one will it will go lower. It will lose some of its charge, and secondly, it will then attract lower energy beings as well. So you find that because you have this energy that is stagnant in you, it's like water. If you have water that is staying stagnant, it attracts growth in it. Other beings will come and grow. Same with you. If you have a higher energy being, if you have energy that is in you, then what then happens is that it attracts lower energy beings because I've noted you, my brother. You've joined. I'll be with you. So you have this energy, so this energy gets stagnant, and then when it's stagnant, it then attracts other energy beings within you. And what then happens is that those energy beings start to affect you. Now, there's a different way to deal with that. To deal with that, you need to the person needs to first, you need to cleanse yourself first and remove the energy beings, protect your home, like I said. But also, you need to then understand what it is that you are supposed to do. And then when you understand what it is, then you go do that so that you allow the energy to flow. Otherwise, if the energy flow, you'll keep having the same thing. That's why you'll hear that people with a calling, if they don't get their calling, the ancestors they kill them or they do whatever to them. It's not actually the ancestors per se, more than it is you that is allowing the energy to accumulate, and then you attract bad energy, and it affects the entire board, and then you move away from your space of higher vibration to a space of lower vibration, and then you get affected by negative energy beings, etc., etc. So that's just one part of it. So to cleanse that, you need somebody who understands, who will be able to understand that this is what is happening to you. And a practitioner, a psychologist, may not be able to get that if they don't have that background. They will think that your brain is malfunctioning. In there, who are seen as mad, who are seen as mentally ill, when in actual fact, the voices that they hear are there. They are simply superior because they can hear things that you can't hear, and as a result, because the norm is that you're not supposed to hear things, then you get locked up in a hospital. So these are things that we need to avoid. This will create it will alleviate the pressure even on mental hospitals if we're able to then start utilizing our own information source, start using our own way of healing abantu, so that we can get rid of some of these things in a proper manner. People then don't have to be popping pills all the time. Yes, Lebuchang, speak, my brother. I'm here.
Bhuti Loyiso kunjani? Msisimsiphi. Yeah, the reason ngibuza ukuthi is it safe to declare racism as part of a mental condition, because a study has been done by Dr. Francis Creswell Slim. I'm not sure if you are aware of her. She did a study. She did a study, and according to her, narcissism is the number one mental illness and the leading cause of other mental illnesses because labantu lava aba-affectwa racism, it seems like they are not aware ukuthi le racism bayenza is inflicting wrong on society as a whole. Racism has caused a lot of wars. Yonke into wrong nje emhlabeni is because of racism. And then specifically ukhuluma nge-white supremacy. So that's why I wanted to have your own view on declaring racism as a mental health condition.
Okay. I'm familiar with Dr. Francis it's Walsing, I think. Yeah, she's done quite a lot of good work. But remember that you are talking about people that are basing their understanding on the Western culture of understanding. That's the first thing. And secondly, racism is a result of a low vibration of someone. It is not, it's an effect of something else. Look, she can interpret it because that way, because in Western culture, there's a particular way of treating mental illness. So, but if you look at it, it is simply even religion. You can say then religion is a mental illness because religion is the things that are done in the name of religion is atrocious. You see, but those people simply don't know. They don't understand that what they're doing because they think they're doing it for God or for whoever the higher being is. So if you call racism a mental illness, then you must say religion is also a mental illness. You understand? To me, it's just people that lack knowledge because religious people and the racist people, once they get to a particular level of understanding, then they realize the weight. It's not just abantu that have been affected by this racism. I've also been affected because to feel like I'm inferior is a conditioning of the brain. See, another thing is that once you don't, there's certain information that you need to have to be able to understand certain things. And if you don't have that information, look, for instance, there is Carl Jung, quite a renowned psychologist, I think, yeah. He has written quite a few books. Carl Jung, if you read his history, he studied himself. He had dreams that there was this being that was affecting him. And he thought of that being as himself. Now he was dreaming of this shadowy character that was affecting him. And to him, that was part of him. And so he needed to deal with that. So he studied himself at that particular level. Now, if you understand what I've been trying to talk about, Carl Jung actually had a negative entity that was attaching to him, that was coming to him, that was affecting him. There was a being of lower energy that was affecting him. Hence, he then had depression. So you see, now he studies himself at that state, and he calls that state the normal state, and he calls that, and that being becomes part of him according to him. You see, so based on the level of knowledge that you have, your interpretations will always show the level of vibration that you are vibrating at, and the level of understanding that you have. You see, I hope that clarifies that. Yes. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying something. Okay, so it's merely just a conditioning of the mind, which can, and the mind can be reconditioned differently. Your volume is actually disturbing. Every now and then it's coming in Lebogang, so it's creating a disturbance. So you don't have to go and watch that person. You don't have to do it. It's just you have to give them information so that they can reassess their position and start again and behave in a different. Then they will behave in a different manner. So that's that. Now, I've spoken. I've spoken about ne negative energy coming in as a result of feedback from your laptop level. Okay, I've spoken about mental illness as a result of negative entities, and also as a result of having a particular gift that you have. So you'll find that in mental hospitals, there's quite a lot of people that are sitting there because they cannot be diagnosed properly. The people that can diagnose them are not part of the system itself. So it's important for us, because now we are able to explain the cause and effect. We're able to explain scientifically how mental illness works. It's important for us then to start having that for our communities, to start having institutions where people will be able to go to and be treated from an indigenous perspective, not from a Western perspective, where you'll come in, people will look at you and will tell you, okay, this is what is wrong with you, this is what we need to do. And then the person can go back to the Western institution to be able to be re-examined, so that they can also confirm if they need to. But it's important for us as a nation, as Abantu, because the assumption is that when the colonizer came to our space, we never had anything. It's like we didn't have an education system, we didn't have a health system. We had all these systems in place. Our education system was so advanced because a child learns from home. He learns all the things that have been done, and that child, when he grows up, is guaranteed that he's going to work there at home. And so once you have a home-based education, your education is relevant to your own environment, your own microenvironment. If you need to learn more, there were specialists as well, specialist education systems where you go to, like for instance, if you go to a traditional healer to learn for initiation, that's a specialist education. It's like you're going to a much higher level of education. So it's important for us to, and you'll find that a lot of us, for instance, I speak about different levels of vibration. Other people speak about chakras. They say you have different chakras. Others people speak about different levels, Zamatongo. Others people will speak for instance, science will tell you about different planets. They'll tell you that there's different planets. There's no different planets per se. Those planets are not out there. It's the same thing with the chakras, the same thing with the different vibration. All you see when when they see a planet, they see the same space that they're sitting in, but at a higher vibration. So Mars, for instance, is Earth at a higher vibration. So that's why when you look at the planets, they become less and less dense because they become higher and higher in terms of vibration until you get to those that are gaseous. And the highest vibration in this area is the sun. So for you to move on to Mars or to the next vibration, you have to vibrate at the energy of the sun, and then you move to the next to the next vibration. So that is the information that we need to have as Abantu for us to be able to deal. We need to cultivate our own information. We need to have our own information repository, so that we are able to compare what we have with other people, with what other people have. You see. So people that have mental illness, I'm able to assist them to get rid of the pills that they are using, because those pills also have an effect on you. If you look at those things, the side effects that they have, they create a person that is very low in energy, that you don't feel right. But if you change that and you start to cleanse yourself and you remove all these negative entities around you, start with sea salt, for instance. On your own, take sea salt. Make sure it's sea salt, because there's two types of salt. There's table salt, which is artificial salt, and then there's sea salt, which is natural salt. It's a natural salt that works. Take the natural salt, sprinkle it around your house. Create an electrolyte with the ground that you are at your place. Take the sea salt, put it in water, and wipe clean your house with it. Sprinkle it around your house to create a high energy environment in your house. take the sea salt, put it in a teaspoon in a cup, rub yourself with it, your entire body before you sleep, and when you wake up, you'll see the difference in terms of your mentality. Your change in mentality is almost immediate. You can see, you can feel it. You feel much more energized. You feel much like a different person. But that's only the start. So to be able to get to people that are able to do that, you need to get a professional, someone that can be able to assist you, to tell you to go there, go there, go there. I think now at 11.
Can we start?
Yeah,
Can we start wrapping up? Can we have the last comment there from Defo? You can just respond to that last comment, and then we can wrap up.
what is the comment saying? Mamiya, my eyes are failing me now, and these things are
Oh
very
no,
small.
he's on there. Defo, do you want to speak? Oh, he was on stage. Maybe he's struggling
Yes,
with
I'm here
connection.
to confess. Good. Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, we can hear you. You can go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Good morning. I couldn't really follow the whole conversation because I've been busy, water problems. So I'm collecting water, from the truck and. But yeah, I just have two comments. It's with regards to showing up, guys. I was saying the other day to a counselor, Uba, I am so tired of showing up. Like, we live in this industrious world and we are forced to be like present every day. And they say it doesn't always have to be 100%. But I'm like, what about some of us who are procrastinators, neurodivergent and stuff? You spend so much time wasting time, and it's like, I have to be consistent in showing up. Okay, but yeah, I just wanted to say, showing up, wow, tired. And then on the thing, racism being a mental health thing, I think it does have traits of, a mental disease whatsoever, because I was reading Part of My Soul Went With Him by Umama Nomzamo Madikizela Mandela. And in that book, there's a part where she talks about how the people there in Brentford, they to them, they were the first people to ever exist in Free State. They did not find anyone there. So it's like black people shouldn't be there. And I'm just like, how sick do you have to be to think like that? You found people there and you come back and say, no, we are actually the first ones to be there, as Amabunu. And yeah, for me, it's just sick. But yeah, I'm not willing to give grace to white people. I'm sorry, history does not allow me. Even the present does not allow me to give Amabunu grace. I'm not about to do that. They could be brainwashing us, for all we think, to think that they are sick. You know how strategic they can be. But yeah, that's just my input. I'll go back and watch everything. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mamia, for the live, and Mr. Yeah, the guest. Thank you.
Loyiso. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Sisi. Mamiya, carry on.
Oh, I was allowing you to give your last comments.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, look, people have been conditioned to a particular extent, and we've all been conditioned, and we allow that conditioning to prevail. So it's just lack of information. When people raise their energy, it's with us. We don't really have to be fighting many of these wars. If we actually just raise our energy and get to a particular level, no one can match us. But we need to understand just how brilliant we are, just how powerful we are, for us to be able to get to that level. We still think of ourselves as small, and we allow people to talk down on us because we part of us feels that they have the right to do so, or they are superior, or been taught that they are superior. But it's a very set mentality, and if you grow up with that, it's something that you have to unlearn because you have been taught. But yes, I hear you. It's quite a sick way of thinking. But people must just understand that they are the most powerful beings in this universe, and as such, they do not need to even entertain people telling them that they are anything lower than what they are. All they need to do is understand themselves, and the more you cleanse yourself, the more you get to realize your true potential. Thank you, Mami, for
Thank
the
you.
for the time. And yes, I
Thank
think
you,
over to you.
Loyiso. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I love this
All
last comment from Commander P saying, it just hit my mind to start petitioning the racism supremacy to be declared a mental condition, which must be mandatory admission to Vitco copies. So, on that note, guys,
right.
enjoy your day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Siabulela. Thank you again, Loyiso. Guys, do check out Loyiso's episode on Moya. Just go through, I don't remember what episode number it is, but just go through there. And then all his contact details for his book and how you get his book are in that description box. So we'll see you guys again next time. Thank you.
Yeah.